BONECRUSHER is a living legend in New Zealand. The former champion galloper was one of the most popular horses ever to race in the Southern Hemisphere, retiring with 18 wins from 44 starts and almost $2.2 million in prize money. Now at 10 years of age, it has been 3 years since the Crusher last hit the racetrack. The chestnut was trained throughout his racing career by Frank Ritchie, whose stables are situated just south of Auckland at Takanini. BONECRUSHER hit Australia with a storm in the autumn of 1986 as he swept through the Tancred Stakes and AJC Derby in Sydney.
On the rails, late show on the outside, Handy Proverb is struggling, starting to run on very well, Rant and Brave, and BONECRUSHER making ground from a long way back. 200 to go, still a bit like the leader. Tristark is beaten. On the inside, Dolcethes, Rant and Rave on the outside, and BONECRUSHER. BONECRUSHER, the New Zealand champion, coming from last, has swamped them. He races to the lead and goes away to win nearly a leg.
The Cox Plate was an emotional race, but the Tancred was possibly his best ever performance. Huge number of group winners in the race, and he came from absolutely last at Rosehill, which is not the longest straight in the world, and just ran over the top of them and actually was pulling up just on the line, so that was a huge performance.
The race that lives in most people's minds is the 1986 Cox Plate, regarded as an epic duel between BONECRUSHER and fellow Kiwi, our Waverley Star. It was perhaps the best two-horse war ever seen.
These two mighty chestnuts, Waverley Star a long neck, the BONECRUSHER draws level. 3 to Drought running on the Filbert. BONECRUSHER's taken the lead from Waverley Star. The Filbert running on the BONECRUSHER a neck in front. Waverley Star comes at him. 50 to go. BONECRUSHER and Waverley Star, they're going to hit it together. BONECRUSHER and Waverley Star, the BONECRUSHER. The greatest race I've ever seen.
Marvellous racing. It was a magic moment, and look, just to see it was magic. To be part of it was something else.
BONECRUSHER had the will to win, that never-say-die attitude, which are the hallmarks of champions. In March, he was pitted against reigning Melbourne Cup winner at Tallack in the Australian Cup.
He's got him beaten, I think. Now BONECRUSHER comes at him. At Tallack, a half in front. BONECRUSHER goes to him. They hit it at Tallack, one of the nose.
But it was after this courageous win, Frank Ritchie believes it was all slipping away.
Yeah, I believe that race killed him more than any other. Most people believe that the Cox Plate and the Japan Cup illness really knocked over BONECRUSHER, but in that Australian Cup, Tallack really made him work. He hadn't had quite the racing to season him for it, and it just really knocked him out. I don't believe he was ever the same horse again after that.
But the big chestnut is still in work, being prepared for promotional events in New Zealand and Australia.